襲名のラスティル、常しえの迷宮城。
Alright, well, that's game clear. I was completely blind, by the way. I have not seen any spoilers on this. I was completely blind. I'm glad that I had one of the, I'm glad I had one of the branches to just run it back, because losing to him, the Gundam, putting me in, like, infinite hit stun was bullshit. But, that was a very solid run anyway. Even if I had wiped that run back on the run back, I got these characters. I actually got, like, multiple bosses that time, so, they have 2 bosses in my party, and that seemed to have helped quite a bit, because she has a ton of HP, so she was taking aggro quite a bit. There were a couple times where he tried to do the attack with the funnels, and she had aggro. I don't know what the best setup is for, like, the familiars, but if nothing else, the bosses are good for taking aggro. It's kind of interesting how it was just like a boss rush, but they had, like, way less health, so they got killed pretty quickly. But, after getting cheated like that, I'm not really gonna complain. I'm not really gonna complain about that, right? I got cheated very hard. Should not be able to just stay in hits, like, just spam that much. It's actually really stupid. But luckily, pulled through. That was some pretty sweaty gaming there. I just didn't want to have the mic on because I knew there was a chance that something like that would happen and make me frustrated. So, sorry for no mic. I don't know if I really want to do another run right now, though. I'm kind of, like, burnt out. I've been playing this, like, all day. Let me clean the storage a little bit. Let's see what some of these other modes are, and I'm probably gonna switch games. I think I've done enough of this tonight. And also, like, getting all my resources back is not going to be easy. That burnt through almost all my resources, finishing the game like that. It's probably going to expect me to, like, max out the skill tree soon, so might be worth doing some challenge mode runs and just stopping at, like, the third boss. I do want to recruit the second boss. I think he might actually be really good. He might be better than the ogre, because the ogre takes up a lot of space and he causes screen shake. Let's check out what these other modes are. I think I'm gonna go ahead and dip, play something else. Yeah, the supplies are not very good right now. That burnt through everything I had. They're probably expecting you to grind more, but with a little bit of action game fundamentals, I think I got here quicker than I was supposed to. That's probably why. Yeah, so that's what I just did. That's the normal story. Stronger monsters can be captured. See, there's 2 reasons I would not want to do this. It would need to be really worth it. Because it's too easy to glitch out of bounds in this game. And, like, if you get that mosh pit of monsters, I mean, you're pretty much dead. So I don't know if there's any kind of benefit to doing this. It does not seem worth it. Alright, let's get the supplies up a little bit, and then I'm gonna play something else. I wasn't expecting to finish the game tonight. Good game. It mostly just ran like garbage when it came out. I didn't pay for this game. I bought this like 2 years ago. I bought this game like 2 years ago and I didn't play it. rare instance of somebody actually clearing their backlog. This was backlogged for a very long time, but I'm glad I gave it a chance. It's a good game. I think it's just if they want to have like challenging stuff in the game, they need to bare minimum add a unstuck button. The fact that like multiple times today I've been stuck out of bounds in a game where if you die you lose everything equipped is not good design. There's nothing about that that's good design. You know, like, I'll go ahead and accept accountability for dying to the boss. What I will not accept is the run died because my character glitched out of bounds and I can't get back in without the scroll of escape. That is not good design. So, I definitely will not be doing any challenge runs in this until they minimum add an unstuck button. That is bare minimum this game needs to function for like endgame purposes. If you have a scroll of escape you can fix it, but like I should not need to do that. To be honest with you. I get filtered by a boss attacking me. I know I'm fine with accepting accountability for that, but not like, well, you glitched out of bounds and the game doesn't have an unstuck button, so your run is over. It's way too easy to glitch out of bounds in this game, or get stuck on things. I really feel like their engine should generate more flat levels if there's such a high chance of glitching out of bounds. Like, bare minimum. Nobody likes dying to something that's not their fault. It's very hard to accept that you can get glitched out in this game and lose everything. So, challenge mode is worth doing because you get a lot better stuff, but there is a chance of getting stuck in hit stun like that, and then also glitches. Probably better to just do the story challenge mode and just try to capture a bunch of monsters. That was a pretty successful run though. Like, if that run had wiped completely and I wasn't able to salvage it like I did, oh wow, haven't seen this one before. I still got like 2 bosses. I got 2 bosses captured that run, so I don't think I would have crashed out too much. Just the Gundam just fills the screen with hitboxes. You can't like dodge out of it or anything. You're just dead. Yeah, everyone's saying challenge mode in this game is not worth it. Unless you're positive that you can get to a stopping point, it's not worth it. Either that, or if you have a lot of money to buy your stuff back. Otherwise, it's a huge grind to get back. That's why I like don't sell all my weapons and stuff. So if that does happen, I can at least like somewhat play the game. I wouldn't be above cheating my money back if I died to something like what that Gundam did. I wouldn't be against that, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna get to the first boss and try to capture him. Probably just focus on getting a bunch of the monsters and then make some more progress that way. I had very good defense that run, though. The shield on dodge is really good. Yeah, this right here, Divine Shield, upgrade that. If you keep dodging, it gives you a lot of a buffer. Especially if it's not like a really spammy multi-hit attack like what killed the first run. I didn't think think I'd finish this before rushing beat, but I did. You probably need to do a lot more meta progression grinding to get far in the survival mode. I think they're actually expecting you to grind. So I'll probably just start doing like one run of this a day, just get to like floor 30, and then leave. That usually gets you like 2 upgrades. Transforms and upgrades dropped items. What the hell? That sounds incredibly broken. This run's only going to floor 10 anyway, so give it a shot. Try to get some capture stones here, hopefully. I have some on sale. Restock after that strenuous fight. Spend the money on an advancement right now. Alright, let's see if I can capture this first boss here. That run actually had some very good RNG. The fact that I captured two of the 5 bosses is pretty crazy when you think about it. My thoughts on this game, it's pretty good. Most mystery dungeon games have shit combat, so the fact that this doesn't is pretty cool. Mystery dungeon games are not known for competent, fun combat. This game's got just dodge and stuff. I mean, your moveset should be bigger, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty solid game. I think it's cool that they took something that is known for bad gameplay and they actually had good gameplay. It's pretty commendable. I always thought there was potential for mystery dungeon games to actually have like good combat, but most of the time it's either like fully turn-based or like really bad action combat that's not good in any definition. There were a lot of games like this on PS2, and this game is a lot like those games, but much more competently designed combat. It's mostly just the fact that they don't really have any iframes when you get hit is what's stupid about this game. But other than that, for the most part, all the attacks are dodgeable. They totally should add something like, if you take like too much damage in a short period of time, there should be like a recovery animation where you get knocked down. The chick in this game has very weird hit stun rules. She'll fall over from a trap, but then she'll face tank like 100 lasers from the Gundam and like take like no iframes at all. She's got very very weird rules for how she reacts to attacks. Like fall over from a trap, but then like the Gundam pulls out like all the funnels and the Buster Rifle and just she can just walk through all of that and like not ever fall down. They need to fix that and glitching out of bounds, and I could see myself like actually making endgame builds in that, but until those things are fixed, I'm not sure how much I care. I'm glad that I killed that game out of my backlog. It definitely deserved to be given a chance. But shit like that needs to be fixed before I take it seriously. The fact that just today alone I've glitched out of bounds like 10 times is not good. You have a lot less forgiveness for jank like that when... A lot less forgiveness for jank like that when, it's permadeath. Stuff like that happens in a regular game. It's not that big of a deal. You can just, load to checkpoint. But, the fact that it's an extraction game and you can lose everything and you actually can just get glitched, that shit needs to go. A good game, though. I definitely recommend it. It's like $13. It definitely stands out being mystery dungeon roguelike with actual mostly competent combat instead of shit combat where a lot of dying is not your fault. I think I'm done on this for the week, huh? Yeah, I am. Alright. I've played a lot of roguelikes that have jank like that, and then they think that it's okay. It's like, well, it's not really. You have a lot less leeway with permadeath. Let's see, is there anything going on in this game right now, or am I just done? Yeah, it's kind of a dead patch for this game and PGR right now. There's nothing going on right now. Resets tomorrow. Let's play something else. No, see, that's the thing, Fuma. It's... You do have invincibility, and you can get hyper armor. The problem, what I mean by hit stun, is no hit recovery. There's no hit recovery in that game. Hit recovery is, in DFO, it basically functioned like the more you had, the quicker you could recover. The game doesn't have any kind of safety if, something just throws out like 30 hitboxes. You just die. I feel like that stuff needs to go. Very strange to, very strange to actually have, like, competent combat where, like, the hitboxes are fair and you can parry and just dodge. But then, like, if they just put a bunch of projectiles out, you just die and there's nothing that you can do about it. Well, apparently that game was only made by, like, 3 people. It's very impressive. It's a good game. But I've played, like, probably over 100 different roguelikes, and, the ones that I grind the most are the ones that don't have bullshit like that. It's, like, one of my main criteria. I've definitely played some with, like, really shit bosses, where, like, the game is otherwise good, but they decide to add bosses that, like, turn invincible and do gimmick phases and stuff where you can't hurt them. And it's like the developers don't understand that, DMC and Ninja Gaiden have a lot of shit bosses, right? But you don't fight them, like, hundreds of times. When you're making a roguelike, you need to be able to burst the bosses down quick. And I've played a number of games that break that rule. They're like, I'm just gonna turn invincible for 10 seconds. I'm like, please don't do that. A shit boss in Ninja Gaiden that does that, yeah, it still sucks. It's not like it doesn't suck, but, they're not expecting you to fight that boss like 400 times. So, despite some of the cheap stuff that the bosses do, like, they don't they don't like ever turn invincible really. They do like put on like an enraged state, but you can pretty much just kill them. And that's one of the things that makes the game fun, and the fact that their hitboxes are fair. I can tell it's designed by people that actually have like action game experience. Some of these games, man, like, look, your boss fight ain't all that, alright? Get out of here with the iframes and gimmick stuff. Like, that really needs to go. I'm glad that it stayed consistent the whole time. The bosses definitely ramp up in difficulty, but never at any point do they waste your time. Like the Gundam, for instance, and the anime chick with the summoned swords. If you stay close to them, they do their range stuff a lot less often. So that really encourages aggression. I actually think that that's really cool. But at the same time, both of those bosses, if you let them get away from you and they hit you, you're pretty much dead. Anyway, that's my review of that game. That was a... I'll definitely play that some more later. What do I feel like doing now? Could do Diablo. Actually, let's test something really quick. Solid game overall. It's nice to know that some developers actually play action games when they decide to make a roguelike. No, I don't want to sit out your invincibility phase. Alright, hold on. We're going to test something really quick. Damn, that took like 2 hours. That took quite a while. Hold on a sec. Well, see, the thing about Borderlands and Destiny is that the combat sucks, right? It's just shooting with guns. There's a lot less that you can do with bosses like that. And the level of power you get in those games would mean that you could just burst them down quickly. The problem is that they make the bosses have those invincibility phases, and then they have shit drop rates. So you need to kill them like 300 times to get the drop. So at that point, the invincibility phase is all it does is it just wastes your time, right? Because you just kill it quick. Diablo 4 actually changed this. They changed it so that you can skip the invincibility. They made a change a while back that people were pissed. They tried to like make the bosses survive longer, and I think what they did was they made it so if you do enough damage, you will one-shot them, and you can skip the phase. I'm like, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. You know, you grind and you optimize your characters at the point where you can skip the gimmicks instead of, you know, you do like 10 million damage and they have 5 million, but got like, you know, half health. They go into like a minute-long invincibility phase, and then all their good drops have like a 2% drop rate. So if you kill it 60 times, literally an hour of it is not making progress. But yeah, in
Devil May Cry.
In games that don't have like a really solid combat focus, it's very hard to balance stuff like that.
shall die. Your nightmare begins here.
Well, see, Borderlands wants to waste your time with the unbreakable combo of invincibility phases and gimmicks, and then, like, also shit drop rates. So, you have to kill them, like, so many times to get anything. Borderlands is really going out of its way to waste your time with stuff like that. Let's see here. Have they really not updated this? Did they seriously not update this? This is KOF All-Star level of out of touch. These characters have been power crept hard. Why would I pay for that? Have they really not updated this pool? I last played this game like 2 years ago. I haven't logged on since, and you would think that they would like upgrade the pool, but it's still these characters who are all very power crept by this point in both like how fun they are to play and you know, their actual power. I'm not paying for that. You out of your mind? I'm not paying for that. Yeah, I came back because the new Virgil actually looks pretty cool. I can handle one more gacha. I definitely can't spend much, but let's see if there's anything in here worth buying. Yeah, a lot of these are scams. You know, don't want to buy those. Waste of money. I'll go ahead and get this, though. I'll go ahead and turn this off for a sec. Sensor screen. Hey, you guys want to see what I got? I got a large order of jack shit. But it only cost $5, so... there you go. Uncensored. Sorry about that. Yeah, roguelikes that spam iframes are like the absolute worst. They don't put any kind of thought into how unfun that is. Yeah, I've heard Borderlands 4 is a lot like that, Fuma. It's just a bunch of invincibility phases. I guess it's just really hard to have an actual boss fight when the game is based around guns. There aren't really many first-person shooters with good melee combat. Pretty much all of them are not AAA. Gunfire Reborn, Void, Mortal Sin. Although Mortal Sin is doesn't really have has very limited ranged options. But yeah, I think it's quite a lot harder to make a playable boss fight. But yeah, they are definitely hell bent on wasting your time with shit like that. I mean, in my opinion, raids in those games just isn't fun, because most of the power fantasy is overridden. It's overridden by the fact that, you know, they just turn invincible. Like, most of it's gone. Oh, they just sell these now? That's actually pretty cool. Well, it actually wouldn't be too bad to catch up if I keep playing this, but who knows if I will. Apparently this game is actually really free-to-play friendly now. Wow, they have the DMC2 skin in this? That's pretty sick. Oh, you want me to pay for something? Please don't pull up another site while I'm playing. That's very annoying. Especially with how I'm recording this. Please don't do that. I guess if you like male characters, you have to play this game. You're basically forced to play this game. I think what's weird about this game is that they still don't have Lucia playable. It's really strange that they don't. Because, like, they don't have that many characters they can use, right? They could at least get, like, maybe 2 or 3 S-rank characters out of Lucia. She's the only main playable character out of the mainline series that's not playable in this. It's really strange. I think people would come back for that. But I guess that's what happens when you make a gacha and there's only like 5 active combatants that you've ever been able to play as. But yeah, the fact that they still don't have Lucia in this is really weird. That seems like such an obvious thing. You know, female character, and they could definitely do her a lot more justice in the game she's from, but for some reason, not in this game at all. Really don't understand why. I'm definitely down for Lucia to be in this game, and no matter how bad the moveset is or how limited it is, it would still be better than the actual DMC2. Yeah, how many characters have they added? Yeah, Trish and DMC5 Dante were the last characters I got. And they've added quite a few more. There's another Nero. What's this one? Oh, it's Cavalier Dante. Did they add a new lady? Oh, Kalina and lady. Oh, that's kind of cool. another DMC5 Dante. Is this the one with the shuriken? Yeah, the recycled shuriken from 1.0. Yeah, look at all these male characters. They're all right here. You just gotta play this game. Anyway, I'll do more of this offline. How did that game look? Because I'm considering coming back to it. Just because I have no interest in any other gachas coming out right now. PGR, Aethergazer, and maybe POC. Any other gacha I'm not interested in anymore, because they're all like open world, and also like they're approaching AAA game size. It's pretty crazy that like Crimson Desert and Wuthering Waves are like essentially the same size. The Wuthering Waves is a high quality game, but the fact that Crimson Desert is like barely any bigger than it is crazy to me. These games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know how you're supposed to play those games on phone, but how did it look before I go here? Was the Peak of Combat gameplay looking alright? I might have to work on it a little bit. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you. Yeah, I'm considering adding that to the rotation. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. I don't make any promises. Oh, Rustle just got a patch. What's the patch? Fakes glitching out of bounds? Mitigated performance drops and stuttering issues. Well, that's pretty good. So one of the enemies got nerfed. One of the enemies in the second level, the Bozus, they do that laser, and they could constantly do it like off screen. So it seems like nerfs are on the table. With Rustle. It's mostly just they need to fix instances of getting hit once and then being stuck in hit stun and dying. And I would take that game way more seriously. But yeah, this patch, I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys. I'm going to try to get back to bed. I'll show you guys. Well, apparently this was a problem too. You didn't get your items at the beginning of the game, but I only played the game for like 3 hours, so that didn't bother me, but I can understand that'd be a justified negative review if you played the early access for like 100 hours and had to essentially start over. So that's a pretty good change. Yeah, so the Bozu enemy on the second level got nerfed. Wall breaking attribute. I guess that means if the game generates a level where stuff is behind a wall, I guess you can actually break it now. So I guess they're just making it so you can progress faster. Huh. Ease the time limit. I never really had a problem with this. But yeah, sometimes when you're trying to find the enemy that has the relic, they just won't spawn, or they'll keep running away. So I guess this nerf is to make it so you have less of a chance of running out of time. But luckily, I'm done with that part of the game, so that shouldn't be an issue. Now everything is essentially a kill room because I found all the relics. I have all the spirits. Mitigated performance drops and stuttering issues. I'm interested about this because if you play this game above 60 FPS, it stuttered a ton. But like when I used lossless scaling, it really only did it sometimes. So maybe you can actually play at 120 now, but I don't see a reason to. Anyway, that's gonna do it for now. I think I'm gonna try to get some rest. I'll probably hop back on in the morning. Like I said, my birthday is on the 19th. Birthday is on the 19th, and that's when Rushing Beat comes out. And then also my friend Rob said he's going to gift me Crimson Desert. But I care about Crimson Desert a lot less than Rushing Beat. And I know that Crimson Desert is going to be Resident Evil 9 levels of overstreamed. I don't know if I'll even bother installing that game right away. I'll have to look at like the benchmarks and stuff. But yeah, he said that he wanted to gift that to me because I wasn't able to see him this month because of financial stuff, and then also the hotel like tried to scalp the prices like crazy, so I couldn't go see my friends for my birthday. So we'll be doing Rushing Beat on the 19th. Maybe sooner if I get a key, but it's been a ghost town from them, so most likely what will happen is they're going to be slowpoke the Pokemon and send it to me after I've already bought it. But yeah, that's the next new game I'll be doing. I'll try to be on more often the next few days, but I won't really be starting any new games. Starting Rustle was kind of a bit risky because I wasn't sure if that was going to get backlogged, but you know, I did take it out of the backlog, as you can see here. I only played like 4 hours of this in early access, and I've already put in 10 hours. It's a good game. How much are they selling it for right now? It's like $10. It definitely doesn't deserve mixed reviews. It's a good game. Surprisingly, mostly well designed. Yeah, it's $13 until actually my birthday. Yeah, if you're looking for a cheap game to play, I'd recommend it. They really just show you all the bosses here. They show you every single boss. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.